What is going on, freaks and geeks? Welcome to the Flipping Live Show, episode 14, I believe, of the #1 daytime reselling talk show on YouTube. Today's guest is one part of a two-part duo known as Aspiring Flippers. We have Michelle. Hello.
Hey, what's going on?
And her partner, who is not present, is pronounced Elle. Looks like this, pronounced like this. So you guys don't mess it up. It's not Ellie.
She loves it when people call her Ellie. She loves it.
How are you doing?
Doing great. It's been a good day so far.
Sweet.
And just super excited to be here. This has been like the highlight of my week. I've been.
You said this is officially your first live.
Yeah. You guys sent the message last week, and I was like, I think they sent the message to the wrong people because this is crazy.
No. We watch what a lot of people do, and then we just reach out. We just like talking about reselling, and we picked you.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much.
Stacy's in the chat as always, guys. She got her second dose yesterday, so her arm is dead to the world, and she does not feel well. On top of that, Mario, oldest son, graduated, walked across the stage at boot camp today for the Army, and we were not present, so we got to watch it on the live stream. So shout out to him. And
congratulations. Thank you for his service and supporting him.
Thank you. And no love to the Army for letting us know last minute that you had to be fully vaccinated, so she couldn't go.
Yeah, that sucks.
Yeah, that is true. We were going to name our youngest Riley. We were going to name her Ellie. And then we changed it at the last second. And there we go. Everybody gets a cry emoji because I knew it was going to happen. All right, so we get over all that. Let's get into the chat. What's up, Devin? What's up, Marcus? Hi, Stacy. What's up, Keith? So if you want, I will. I somewhat introduced, but I'll let you introduce yourselves and favorite platform to sell on, and what's your favorite item to sell.
Yeah, sure. Thanks. So my name is Michelle, and I'm the second part of Aspiring Flippers. My wife Elle is part of the duo as well, but unfortunately she's got to work today. She couldn't change her schedule to be here with us, so hopefully she'll be in the chat at some point. But she'll definitely be watching on YouTube if possible too. So we started reselling just this year. Probably I think actually on the books our first sale on eBay was January 31st of this year. And it's just kind of taken off from there. As soon as we realized that you can make money selling cheap things on eBay, it was like, I'm 200% into it. I started watching all the, YouTube channels and just learning from everybody, which is so great that the community is, and so open and sharing with all their tips and tricks. And it's just really been a lot of fun. So we've had some good numbers. If you are a numbers person and look at it, we've had some success in such a short amount of time. So I just have more fun with it than anything. And Elle does too. I've always loved going to garage sales and thrift stores. So the fact that we can go and find a treasure and then make money off of it is just awesome.
Exactly. That's the key word that I use all the time is treasure, because that's really what it comes down to. It's finding things that someone else has gotten rid of because they thought it was, donatable or trash or no longer needed in their home, and then finding another person that thinks it's the best thing ever.
Yeah. Well, just like the nostalgia that it brings sometimes, like finding a little treasure. We found like a little wrestler figure guy in a bag of toys for like $2 at a thrift store. And first thing I did was like send a picture to my brother and like, do you know who this guy is? Remember him? Look what I found. It was so cool. And it was sold for like $30. It's like so awesome. It's like double excitement when you find it than when you sell it both.
Oh, for sure. I was actually having a conversation similar to that with a buddy and Stacy yesterday. We went to Target looking for a toy that supposedly has got high resale right now. Of course, it's out everywhere. But as I'm walking down the toy aisle, I just immediately I felt like a 10-year-old, because everything on the shelves is He-Man, Ninja Turtles. It's all the stuff from when I was a kid just coming back around. And I'm like, whoa, where am I? How old am I? I got that same feeling when I was a kid. I'm like, wait, why is He-Man popular again? Whoa, Ninja Turtles. And they don't look like the new revamped Ninja Turtles. They look like the ones when I was a kid.
Yeah.
And it's in a way it's cool because I like seeing it again as an adult. All those memories flood me again, but then I don't like it because as far as like, I read something where they just cast the new Fresh Prince for the reboot of Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, and I'm just like, why are we redoing all these shows? Why
Yeah,
can't we
sometimes
get?
it's like just leave a good thing be. I think
Yeah, like
trying to think of the
immediately
movie.
I'm going to be like, okay, well they're not going to have Uncle Phil, so I'm out. And I think that was like Will Smith's like great entrance into the world, so I don't see how they're going to. I don't know. I'm not a fan of most reboots. I don't know if you go to Target. Speaking of Target, have you noticed in your stores that the LeBron James heads are missing?
I saw your Instagram post about that the other day and showed it to Elle. I'm like, look at this. People are stealing the head off of these things. Yeah, we love Target. I haven't done too much perusing of the toy aisle, so I haven't seen that yet. But
Yeah,
I'll definitely be on the lookout for it.
It's again, it's a crazy world we live in where one person did it on TikTok and like made it as a joke, and then like I guess use the right hash. I don't know how TikTok works. Use the right whatever for it to go viral, and then now nationwide people are stealing heads off of their Bond dolls to the point now where the stores are actually locking up just the heads, and you have to bring the doll to the front, and when you purchase it, they will go retrieve you a head and put it on.
Oh my gosh, that's so crazy.
I saw a listing on eBay. It's $105 currently right now. It's an auction bid. It's a Charizard action figure that they took Charizard's head off and put LeBron's head on. So it's LeBron Pokemon thing. It's like $105 right now. So
Wow.
that again just proves my point that I tell people all the time, that literally you can sell anything because you don't know what is amazing to someone else.
Yeah, that's true. Very true.
That's why I like the bins and yard sales and dumpster diving, is because it's like you never know what you're going to find, and someone else might be like, this is the greatest thing in the world. I'll give you $1 million.
What do you think? What's like the craziest thing you've sold that you thought like, man, this is never going to sell, but you put it up anyway? And then
honestly, busted shoes. Like I know they're called like beaters is the correct term on eBay, but like I'll find a pair of Jordans at the bins, and I used to pass on all these until I want to say his name's Derek, the ATL flipper. He started like showing people like, hey, I'm selling beater boxes for over $100. Pairs of Jordans that we find at the bins that like are talking because the soles come off. He buys them, lots them all together, and then sells them for $100+ because people either use the midsole on a pair that they have, or they'll fix these up and use them. I personally think it's YouTubers that do restoration videos. They buy those so they can restore them and use it to film. But yeah, selling that stuff, I would never have thought that it was worth my time to go and look for bad shoes. But they sell.
Huh. Yeah, that's crazy. I haven't seen that before, but it makes sense that it's somebody trying to.
Yeah, if you, I think that if you search Nike beater box on eBay, you'll see they're all like over $100 for really, really bad condition shoes. I guess if they're older, they don't make them anymore, so like those parts are hard to find or things like that. But it's pretty cool that literally people will buy anything. Honestly, what is your favorite? What's your favorite item to source or to sell?
I like the stuff that brings back the nostalgia of things. But really, I think more and more we're finding we like hats a lot, just for a variety of reasons. Rarely do they have to be cleaned that much. It just takes a couple minutes to get them cleaned up. They're easy to store. Like I've got, one huge bin out in the garage that's just all hats, and there's probably like 100 of them in there. So it doesn't take up a whole lot of space. And then it's the same pictures. Like every hat is going to be the same, like 6 pictures. So that makes it super easy. Don't have to put a lot of work into that. And then shipping them, you buy the same size box. I think we have like a 7x7x7 box. We put it in a plastic bag to keep it nice, and then in the box. And I know what it weighs, so when I go to do my shipping, it's just super easy. So I think hats is probably my favorite thing so far.
That's why I had to get out of vintage hats or hats in general is because it's kind of like a secret addiction of mine. I love hats, and it's not so much because because once my hat starts getting sweaty and smells, it's got to go. But most people, unless they're, I think you said earlier, what, introvert? Like shy people don't typically look at people in the face.
Right.
But most people look at you, like when you're out in public, they're looking at your face. And so if you have a hat on with some kind of something, they're going to see it. So it's just another way in my mind for me to like project, like, I'll wear my old fart hat, or I have hats that say, I don't talk, or I don't take shit. I'm not in the shit business, like things like that. Like I enjoy hats because it's another statement on my already weird looking body that people are just like, oh, that guy's out there.
Oh, I love it. Yeah, I like to wear hats. I have to wear like a certain style. Otherwise, it just makes my head look goofy. So I don't have a very big collection. But
yeah, I have to. If I wear fitted hats, I have to do this ear tuck, which I get made fun of so much for because I don't know. It's just, I guess it's something I've always done because a 7.5 doesn't fit properly, and then the next size down is too tight, so it sits too high. So I have to get it, and then I just tuck it so it fits right. It's just something, and then my kids make fun of me. They'll tuck one ear. But if I wear like an old school trucker hat, they fit perfectly, and it's like my head was built for a trucker hat.
Nice.
Elle is in the chat. I don't know. I guess she said she was here the whole time. So guys, again, it's pronounced with just a single letter. What's up, Drew? I actually just bought a vintage hat from Drew. I didn't tell Stacy about it. Stacy, I bought a hat from Drew.
Yeah, vintage hats or any hat really. At the thrift store, we'll find newer ones and sell those too.
Well, usually if it's like a new era or something like that, or if it's a popular team or a different colorway, they're usually going well. Like people see this one all the time, like the Travis Scott Astros hat, and they're like, "Dude, why are you wearing that? How much do you want?" They try to buy it off my head.
Oh wow!
Apparently these are like $150+ hats now, but I wanted to wear it. But like you said with the hats, and you know how much they weigh, you have the boxes, you know how packing works, everything like that. That's how I feel about shoes with the USPS priority shoe boxes, or the 1095s. I know how to cut them to where they can fit like a brand new pair that comes in a box. Like I know how much they generally going to weigh, and so I can gauge shipping to California. I can gauge shipping to Oregon, which is zone 8, all of that. So that's why I like shoes versus like printers and all these other things. Like Drew can pack a Rockstar complete set and looks like perfection. And when I see all of that stuff, I'm just like, oh, terrifying.
Yeah. It's a lot of work. I think we're in the dabbling stage where we're kind of like buying just everything. If I see a video of, something that's hot and then find it out thrifting at garage sales, I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, that Rockman set, we can tackle that.
Yeah.
When it comes down to it, it's like, what in the world did I just do myself? I
can do the guitars, no problem. It's the drums, and like if somebody bought the whole bundle, I would probably just be like, hey, let me FaceTime Drew, or Drew put out a video on how to make a box this big and do this. But Devin says, when you're outsourcing shoes, do you have to pass everything on your checklist, or they can have an issue? So it depends. Certain shoes with an issue, if I know the value's there, I'll still get them. And a good example of that is I'll say it right the first time, and then I'll pronounce it how I say it. Hawkas. Hawkas you can sell with treadwear. You can sell Hawkas with interior tears on the heel, as long as they're not right where the shoes tie. A tear, because runners will actually buy those as their like training shoes. They'll wear those while they're just training around the neighborhood, and they'll save their good pair for marathon day. But those I sell regularly, and I'll pick them up as long as it's not like completely sanded down on the bottom. You can sell those pretty well.
Yeah, we just sold a pair yesterday, actually. Elle had bought a pair, and they just didn't fit right, and we couldn't take them back. So
I saw that. Yeah.
One in a day.
Stacy likes to run. Why, I don't know. So I took her for her birthday to get a pair, and when I saw how much they cost new, I was just like, all right, I have to sell like 8 pair of used ones to buy these new ones. So whenever you're done with your running, I get to sell those.
Yeah.
Yeah. I heard Drew said that the other day on their live that he'd rather sell like one big thing than like 10 little things to equal the same price. It's all just what your business model and what your comfort zone and everything like that. Like me, I've gotten the main reason I like shoes is space. I hate clutter. I hate clutter. I hate clutter. If you take anything away from this show, I can't stand it.
I can't show you our garage then, man.
I can't show you my garage. No. Ab Lounger. Oh yeah, I can only.
Yeah. That was a beast. I'd been watching twin flippers flip those things like crazy, and picked one up for like $10, and it sold for good money. But again, it was like a 2-hour ordeal for me to try to get that thing packaged up, and I did have to enlist Elle's help on that one. But yeah, it's kind of cool after you get it and it goes out and there's no complaints. It's kind of fun. But yeah, it's a lot of work. So
yeah, I think that part of something that helps me stay in my zone, so to call it, is I watch all the other YouTubers and Instagrams, and I see all these things they're finding, and I'm like, oh man, I've seen those before. And you get what do they call it, FOMO, and you're just like, oh, I know where that is. I'm going to go back to the store and buy it. And then you get it home, and you're like, oh crap, I got to pack this now. So I just kind of put my blinders on when I'm in a store. Like I said before, I think on the last live, usually when we go to a store, Stacy and I both get a cart, and I go directly, just blinders on, shoes, like very quickly, just do, fill a basket. And then she also looks for the other things, and she'll like bring them. And then when we do the sorting, I'll be like, okay, well, I really don't want to sell this. And then I'll look it up, and I'll be like, but we're going to try. We don't want to leave money. But usually it's vintage stuff. If it's not shoes, it's vintage stuff that we'll find. What's up? Eric is probably hiding in the bathroom at his government job right now. So I appreciate you stopping by. What's up, Joe? Carrie says running is awesome. I cannot confirm or deny that. As a girthy gentleman from the South, running is not something that I do. What's up,
I did it for time, but I did a half marathon twice, and both times I don't know what I was thinking or what I was on, but never again.
Yeah, no, now, after September 1st, now you don't have to have any kind of carry conceal or anything for a open carry or a carry or conceal carry here in Texas. So now you're going to have to either like point a gun at me to get me to run, or like, order me, like, run. But yeah, I usually don't run unless it's something bigger than me chasing me.
Good strategy.
Yeah. So if it ever comes down to like I have to run or I'm going to die, I'm going to die. Yeah, there's a lot of my favorite comedians. I think it's Cedric the Entertainer that talks about that. You're just in a place and all of a sudden people just start running. You just like get up. You're like, wait, what's going on? And you just run first and then find out what's happening. That would not be me, especially if there's like food involved. I would be like, y'all have fun. I'm going to die full.
Die happy.
Yep, exactly. Oh, please tell me I just sold something. Nope, just questions. I'm not a fan of people asking questions because I take very good photos and I put everything in the description, including the measurements, also in the photos. So when people ask me something, I'm just like, oh, what did I miss?
I think there's always like a collective, every time we hear the message.
Yeah. I got one yesterday. I sold something and they were just like, they're like, hi, we just paid for this item. I want to make sure that you are going to pack it professionally and not just slap a label, because it's something that comes in a box already, and not just slap it a label on the box. I would like the box to not have the label on it. And I'm like, yeah, I got this.
Do you think it was a drop shipper?
Probably, yeah. I get those all the time. Ever since I got this test pallet of the brand new shoes, since we don't sell on Amazon, if we buy another pallet from these, we can take both of those invoices and send them into Amazon, and then probably start just sending shoes directly to Amazon and get ungated and Nike and Reebok and all that. It's just not something we want to do at this time. we've sold a lot on eBay, and they're just like, please no invoice, no, don't use eBay tape, blah blah blah. I'm like, don't use eBay tape. Now you're getting a little crazy.
Sure sign, right?
But then when I get those, I go to Amazon and I look up the shoe, and I'm like, maybe I should sell on Amazon. They're getting like $40 more.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's something that we haven't really looked into is the whole selling on Amazon thing. We've kind of just stuck to pretty much eBay and Facebook Marketplace, of course. But at the beginning, we tried Poshmark and Mercari. I don't know. It seemed like, I can't remember which one it was. It was Poshmark. We just kept getting random messages that were like scammers. You could tell, like,
yeah, or you'll get the hi, I'm a Poshmark ambassador. If there's anything I can help you with, please let me know. I would love to be of assistance. And you're like, yeah, buy something. That's all I need. I don't need anything but buying. But you want to buy something? We got off Posh. I couldn't handle it. It's too much busy work and not enough profit. I know people that kill on Posh, but it's a social selling platform, and I am not a social seller. I am you want this, I have it, pay for it, you can have it.
Right.
Which is what I think eBay is very cut and dry. Like, this is what I have. We can negotiate price if offers are available, but beyond that, like, we don't have to be buddies. You don't have to like my photo. You don't have to heart it. I don't need any unicorn emojis, which is Stacy's favorite emoji to send me all the time.
Yeah, it seems too much for me too. I don't think we'll go back to it, but unless sales are just terrible or something, we need to cross.
Yeah, I after doing like cross listing on multiple platforms for a good amount of time, and then scaling back and looking at where the money is actually coming from, I'm wasting too much time on $300, $400 a month that I'm getting by cross listing. So it wasn't beneficial in the long scheme of things. I'm wasting time. I'd rather focus on what's working and then let the rest go. Amazon, we sold on Amazon for like 3 years. We did FBA. We were very good at it. And then randomly our account got suspended. It said we were linked to another account. I appealed it because I have no clue. I had no clue what I could have been linked to because I've never linked anything. We didn't even sell in Canada. We didn't sell in Mexico. We literally were just US. I appealed it. They denied my appeal. I got a buddy who writes appeals to help me write an appeal. They denied that appeal. And at that time I was like, you know what? Screw it. I'm done.
Wow. Yeah.
So that was our end of Amazon after 3 years. And I enjoyed it. It was easy to send products directly to them and not have to worry about it, especially for somebody that doesn't, necessarily have space. But maybe we'll try again down the road once we get into shoes, like where we're doing, 2,000, 5,000, 10,000 a month is our goal. But for right now, eBay's crushing it. I just made a post before we went live. Yesterday was our single biggest day ever, 1662 in one day. Like,
that's awesome.
It's nothing that's like, that doesn't happen regularly. And I don't, I try not to portray the illusion that every day's a killer day, but that's never happened before. So after a $1,200 weekend to then have a 1662 regular weekday, feeling pretty pumped about this summer slowdown.
Yeah, that's amazing. We haven't really experienced a summer slowdown. For us, it's been kind of the opposite, maybe because we're new and this is like the first time doing it, but we've actually kind of seen an increase in sales over the last couple of months. And it, like I said, our sourcing is all over the place. So it's not like we're in one category and can really track if that's what the reason is for having better sales. But I don't think summer slowdown was really impactful for us. I think
no. And again, with the country isn't, I know it's open, but it's, everybody's still being safe and doing things. And so I still think a lot of people are now, after the last 17, 18 months, are in the habit of just ordering things online. I think it's just naturally become something we've all gotten used to.
Right.
I personally can't stand it, as far as not reselling, like ordering things for personal use, but like Stacy will make like the house supply order through Target and they'll deliver it. And, it seems like it's a great thing, but the boxes always arrive damaged. liquid spilled all over them, and it's more of a hassle because then you have to take photos, file the complaint, then they reship a new batch to you, and you're like, well, you guys got it wrong last time. You're going to send me another batch? Is it going to be, or is someone better going to pack it? Or I could just drive to the store and get the product and not have to worry about all the mess.
Yeah, that's true.
Devin, how's Pallet going? Pallet is going very well. I think they first started listing on the 20th of August. So we're right over 2 weeks. And I think we've sold, I'd have to do today's numbers, but I want to say like 37 or 38 pairs so far. So we're selling pretty consistently. The quality has been very awesome. Brands that I'm not a fan of, like Skechers, are actually selling more than the Nikes and the Reebok currently. So it's a learning process for me, because I know other resellers that do shoes are like, oh man, Skechers are in our top 5, and I'm like, Skechers I don't even look at. I have a Skechers outlet at the end of my neighborhood. Why would I want to sell something if there's a clearance center right there? But maybe I need to go in that clearance center and buy some Skechers, because we're selling them for 50 plus new. So there's money there.
Yeah, I see somebody else post that, but I saw somebody else post that the other day about Skechers, and I'd never paid any attention to them either. But if you Google, style, I guess
if you Google like top selling brands, they're in the top 10. It's just I've just never personally thought about Skechers like that. Do you have any time set aside where you do not work? How do you continue to make a family a priority? So basically, when we pick up the kids at school or daycare, once they get home, we aren't really doing anything reseller related. That's more of interacting with the kids. How was your day? Dinner, baths. Once we get the chores done, bath time, everybody's ready for the night. Then it's either like watch TV, they play games, movies, or anything like that. But we usually shut it down once the kids get home. Once they go to sleep around 9:30, we can bring it back up, maybe do some processing, some cleaning. But for the most part, once the kids get home, everything shuts down unless we have something scheduled like a live or anything like that. We try to get everything done like a typical 9 to 5. And then the weekends is where we can do extra sourcing or anything like that. So that's how we juggle it. It's definitely a circus. But we do try to make it work. To where
you guys have 5 kids in the house now?
Six. Yeah. 2 out, 6 in.
Kids. Wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome though.
Yeah. I'm so behind in chat, guys. I'm sorry. How often do y'all thrift? Oh, she's asking y'all. I'm like, me? Never.
It's really sporadic. I mean, it's just kind of, where we can fit it in and go. Sometimes Elle will hit a thrift store on her way home from work, or I work from home. So it's usually my chance to get out for the day. Because being at home all day drives me batty. So sometimes I'm like, I gotta go to the thrift store, to the bins or something and do it then. So it's pretty sporadic, but I do try on the weekends to do some sort of sourcing, whether it's thrift stores or last couple of weekends I went to the flea market around here, which is hit or miss. It really just depends. Last weekend actually was terrible. That I didn't see any postings about them being closed for the holiday, and drive up there. It's about 20 minutes and drive up there, and just an empty lot. There's like one vendor that had a tent out, and I wasn't the only one that didn't get the memo, because there was a line of cars in front of me that just pulled in and pulled right back out. So that was kind of a bummer, but yeah, it's just sporadic. There's no set day to go or anything like that. It's just, if it's something after work or on the weekends, pretty much.
Okay. And we have a flea market here that we've actually sold at, and when we walked around, there was shoes everywhere. So, I was just like, oh, we got to come back. We still haven't made it back because it's only on the weekends. And the little kids, you don't have a long time. Before they just lose it, they're just done. So it's hard for us to like go, because we'll only be able to do a couple aisles because our flea market is huge. And then Dalton was just passing through Texas, and he let me know that the flea market in San Antonio is just, I think his exact quote was like, Dude, I spent $250 in like 15 minutes. I could have spent probably $1,000. There's just shoes everywhere. And I'm just like,
Wow.
tell me that, because I live in this state. And now that's all I think about is you got to go to San Antonio. You have to go to the flea market. There's shoes everywhere.
Yeah, go check it out for sure.
Yeah. So I don't think I said it in the beginning. Where are you guys actually located?
We're in Kansas. So we're in the suburbs of Kansas City, just south of, about 20, 30 minutes south of Kansas City.
Awesome.
We're at. Yeah, it's I don't know. When I watch the videos, I'm like, oh man, we're behind with the thrift stores and the flea markets. I think there's like 2 major ones here. So I don't know. I think it's just the times that we go. Like I can't be at the thrift store right when it opens, to get the stuff that's been restocked. It's after work, so we probably get the short end of the stick there. But there's a couple good places around here that I like to go to. There's one company that does 50% off on the holidays. So
nice.
We've kind of been trying to do the shoe thing here recently, and that's where I'm comfortable paying is on a half off day, because they do, they skyrocket the prices for anything name brand, like the Nikes. You're going to pay $25, $30. I've seen a $50 pair at the thrift store before. So you're always going to pay, but on the half off day, they don't exclude anything. So that's where I kind of like to get shoes.
Okay. Yeah. I saw I think it was a story or a post. You had a bunch of shoes in your bottle of grandma's sneaker cleaner. I was like, oh, there we go. Now you're speaking my language.
Yeah, that was this morning. I was trying to do some, had to get up early. Elle went to work at like 6. So I got up early too. I was like, well, I'll start cleaning some shoes so that I can focus on my job for the rest of the day.
That's one thing I'm looking forward to not having to focus on is when we stop doing the pest control. Is like tomorrow my entire day is pest control, and my brain is already mad about that. So it's ruining today, because I'm just like, I don't want to do tomorrow. So I can't wait till I'm at that point where I don't have to have that in my head anymore. It just my I used to love it, and then it just switched. I'm just like, well, I won't say I loved it. I'm good at it because I know about it, but passion, there's none. I would never do a reselling show. I would never do a live talking about pest control. So since you both have full-time jobs, this is, I hate using the word hobby, because if you're making money, it's not a hobby, it's an income. Do you see either of you going full-time one day, or is it just you both like what you do for work? Or
I would love to go full-time someday. Personally, I don't know Elle's opinion about that, but to me, I get such a kick out of doing it that I would love, that would be something that they always say, find something you're passionate about, and that time just flies when you're doing it. And that's reselling.
Yeah.
I don't know if we could ever get there. I think for us,
she's leaving.
Oh, bye. Just short-term goals. I mean, we're looking to, pay off some debt and kind of build some retirement nest egg, so to speak. So I don't know that we'd ever go full-time, though. We are toying with the idea. Elle's a nurse. And so if we can cut back on some of her hours, because it is pretty intensive, stressful work that she does, we'd love to do that. So it may, replace some income at some point, but for right now, it's just additional funds.
Yeah. Both of my parents were in the medical field, and my mom was a nurse forever. I do not understand how that. I know everybody gives teachers a big, pat on the back, because why anybody would want to be a teacher is beyond me. Nurses, especially nowadays, that's got to be rough.
Yeah, it's a rough field. It's hard to hear her talk about it sometimes. She's in geriatrics too, so I think that's even, God bless her, you've got to have the right temperament for that. And people, just the stories. I mean, nobody wants to be treated that way when you get older, but she's excellent at it, and she's passionate about it too. It's just if we could find a place where all the other people aren't so crummy, would be great.
Yeah. I think that's the hard. You have amazing nurses, and then you have ones that just not, and just kind of, I think that's every profession probably has one person that ruins it for everybody. Yeah, my mom's always told me that. She's like, "Hey, when I get too old, don't put me in a." And I'm like, "Mom, I would never, because if I found out that somebody was mistreating you, I would then be going to a prison." So,
Exactly.
um, yes, I was gonna say, I saw she just commented. Stacy actually wants to go back to school for I'll probably screw up the name, neonatal. She wants to do like nurse with babies.
Oh yeah.
Since I got snipped and she can't have anymore. We're not having anymore. She wants to be around them. So
yeah, Stacy, you and Elle should talk. That would be her in nursing. That would be her dream job, is to. We talked about it. Like if we could make some extra money with reselling, we send her back to school so she can go into a part that's she's more passionate about.
Yeah,
would be it. So
after we've had the talks about, I'm never going to have another baby. Stacy loves children. I'm on the fence still. After 8, I'm still on the fence. I was like, why don't you be a daycare or a preschool or elementary school teacher or neonatal nurse, something where you're playing with other people's kids, but at the end of the day, they go there and you
send them back. Exactly.
Why don't you just thrift children's shoes? How about that? We're in the same ballpark, right? So,
yeah. Speaking of that, do you guys do kids shoes quite a bit?
Typically, for us, kids shoes do actually really well, as long as they have like an adult equivalent. So like kids Jordans, certain kids New Balance, like the 990s or any of the Made in USA ones. Those are going to be, but if it's just like a random like Adidas, if it's not like a Boost or something like that, no. But if there's an adult equivalent, then yes, it's a great score. And then Crocs, if you can get Crocs, it doesn't matter size, color. If you can get Crocs, those usually, you're not going to make a lot of money, but they sell almost within 24 hours.
Well, they've got to be easier to clean, right?
Oh, for sure. I love, one of my favorite things to sell is Crocs. And then anytime I find the Degassi or the Degrassi, like Nike slides, these used sell for like 20, 24 bucks, and they take 2 seconds to clean. Crocs take like less than 2 seconds to clean. But again, you're not going to make a lot of money on Crocs, but if you can pick them up relatively cheap, you'll still make $7-8, and they usually sell within a day. We usually find ours at the bins. To have 4 kids, well, we could possibly let you borrow 4, so you can see just how badly you don't want 4.
No, we're blessed with 2 and fur babies, and that's all we need, love. That's all we need.
I usually say the most stressful part of my day is 5:30 to 6:30, which is get the kids home, and then that first hour of being home, because everybody wants to tell us what happened at school, what's going on, got food going, getting chores done, and it's just my brain wants to explode. Stacy does a lot of, she can hear everything and respond, and I'm just like trying to focus on one of the kids and be like, you did that? Oh, okay. Hold on. Okay. Thank you. Next. Where she can multitask and listen to every single kid, pick out which one. And then the little one, Riley, she's probably just screaming like, everybody bow to me. I am the princess. Stop talking. I have to mumble something that you have to understand what it is.
She's so cute.
It's great. So we could send you 4 if you want to, like a summer retreat or to see if you could handle, or a winter retreat.
Well, I mean, have you taught him to clean shoes? Because maybe we could.
One of them.
Yeah, one of them.
Yes, but she's selective. So we have buckets that we put our shoes in for processing. We have the easy to clean and then the ones that need some attention. And for some reason, she always picks the easy to clean ones. It leaves me with the worst.
She's smart.
But yeah, I'm trying to get them more involved. We have a 14-year-old that he's itching to get into the work field, which I try to let them know they have the rest of their life to do that.
Yes.
But if we start doing like large scaling on the new shoes, I'm probably going to bring him on for photographing and uploading. So
the easier parts. Yeah, we have a 15-year-old and a almost 13-year-old, and the 15-year-old's the same way. Like, I want to get a job, and we're both like, you don't have to. You don't.
Yeah.
Need to.
No. I mean, I encourage them to work at whatever they want to do, because
Right.
I started mowing yards at 13 and quickly realized that is not something that I enjoy, especially in Texas. And then from there it went to, like vacuuming cars, and then I actually got my first government job was good old Taco Bell.
Taco Bell, awesome. Mine was
Yeah.
Ponderosa Steakhouse.
Nice. Yeah, Stacy loves to go to Saltgrass. That's like her favorite, is like a steakhouse. And I'm just like, oh great, steakhouse. But luckily they started having a veggie burger, so I'm like the weirdo that they're like, do we have those? And I'm like, yeah, you do. They're like, really? It's not on the menu. I'm like, you have them. I don't know how long you've had them. They've probably been on your shelves in the freezer for like a year, but yes, you have them. But she loves that place. Steakhouse, gross. What's your I never know how to ask, like, goal. What is your goal out of the reselling things that you guys do? Is it mostly just like debt? Is it just fun money? Are you allocating it to different things?
Yeah, it's kind of all over the place. Definitely want to be out of debt. Obviously, that's a goal. But we really want to travel and be able to take the kids with us so that they can have those experiences too. So that's kind of one of the main motivations. We just did a trip to Jamaica, and it was pretty much paid for with eBay funds.
Awesome.
And then Elle actually did a sourcing trip to Colorado for a week with the girls. And because we have the business, we were able to, pretty much say that was a business trip.
Sweet.
So yeah, definitely those two things are probably top priority. And then, like I said, if we can replace some income someday, then that would be incredible. For sure.
Nice. Yeah, that's what we want to get to, the point where we can start travel sourcing. That way it's like, oh, we want to go to Vegas, so we will, either fly there, rent a car, and then thrift. Not in Vegas. I've heard thrifting around Vegas is very bad, but find a way to do business so it's a write-off, but then also get to have fun.
Yeah.
And then my parents live in South Carolina, so if we go that direction, we make sure we thrift while we're there. That way we can, also write that trip off as well.
Yeah, they didn't get a whole lot of sourcing done on that trip, but they had a blast.
As long as they went in somewhere, got a receipt, it's documented that they did some work.
Yep, that happened.
Yeah, I read like earlier in the year, and it's through the entire year, but it said like on the IRS website that all eating out, like as long as it's not in your general where you live, so there's a certain distance you have to go, but all eating expenses are covered as a business for the 2021 tax season. So I'm just like, okay, every time we go somewhere out of town like San Antonio or another city, when we eat, we're going to talk about eBay for a few minutes. I'm sure there's a loophole, but that's how I'm taking it until proven wrong. Yep. That's pretty much exactly what you have to do. And I don't like either of those options. Can you attach? Oof. So there that I bought in Colorado. Oh, see? She said she did sell stuff that you guys got in Colorado. There you go.
We did.
Business expense, trip paid for.
Hey, it works.
That's a write-off.
Sure.
Yeah, the only like downside that we have right now, since my parents we don't have like a babysitter, so to speak, here. So like if we wanted to do like a getaway to thrift, we gotta figure all the logistics out with children and who's staying at whose friend's house and things like that. But
yeah, I was gonna say maybe you could do the traveling live show.
Yeah, I was thinking about that too. I was like, what if we're away on a Thursday and I have to do the cool thing about not only doing lives and StreamYard is the webcam has like only been within the last 3 lives that I've done. Before that, everything was just on the phone. So I can do a live stream anywhere. I was actually just going to set up on my roof one day and just do it up there, but it's so noisy. I instantly, because I used to try to film on the roof. Like I do my what sold videos on the roof when I first started doing YouTube, just because it was quiet and it was weird location, and I figured it would be something different for people. But then I rewatch it and it's like, wow, all you hear is the wind, cars honking, and like the trees and noise. This was a horrible idea.
How long did it take you to get to like your first 1,000 followers on YouTube, or to get monetized? I guess that was pretty recent.
Yeah, monetization actually takes a good amount of time if you're not doing lives or you're not consistently posting content. So for me, I have a hate / love with YouTube. I love doing lives because I don't really have to do anything. And I just get to, it's a direct engagement. I don't have to think about, or like, I know some YouTubers like write out a script for, hey, this is going to be a sourcing trip. I want to bring up these topics. And I'm just like, I wing it. So I just record myself sometimes I don't. And then I'm like, man, I haven't done a video in like 3 weeks. I should probably put something out. But I don't have a big schedule when it comes to YouTube, mainly because it doesn't bring in a ton of money. So my focus is kind of like, I look at YouTube as like a Poshmark or a Mercari. Like I'm not going to give it a lot of time because it's not bringing in a lot of money. But at the same time, the reason it's not bringing in a lot of money is because I'm not giving it enough time.
Yeah, it seems like you have to be really consistent.
And you have to film. You film like 80% of your life, and you just edit 20. You just show people 20%. 20%. And for me, if I'm in a thrift store, my focus isn't on, I got to get this content. My focus is on, I need to find profits. And I don't wear like the sports bra chest thing or the headband. I just actually got, my buddy gave me like a GoPro yesterday, and nice. I have it charged up, but just opening that pack and seeing all the little thingies, I'm just like overwhelmed because this is so much easier.
Right. Yeah, we got a GoPro because like I said, I went in like 200%, and there's probably a lot of resellers that do that. That like, I'm going to resell and I'm going to make YouTube videos and it's going to be great. But we lasted about 2 videos, and it was like, yeah, we ain't got time for this.
Yeah, like that's the other thing. So my biggest reason for not wanting to do like the GoPro style format is the editing process. But he showed me, like, he's like, dude, you just download the GoPro Quick app. When you turn the GoPro on, it's going to Bluetooth sync with your phone. You can see what you're filming on the GoPro on your phone, and then it'll automatically put it in iMovie. So it's the same way you edit now, but you have the GoPro camera. I'm like, okay, well, if it's that easy, I'll try it. But now I have like a headband. I have a clip. I have a chest thingy. It's like, now I'm going to be that guy in the thrift, and there's already a million that guys on YouTube. So
yeah. No, I think you guys, you've got, like I said, I've watched all the YouTube folks, and your show just stood out to me right away. It's like, this guy's having fun, and he's 100% real. And
yeah, I don't know. It's going to be my downfall. It has been my downfall for a few times. I've been on the back end of a good amount of ass whoopings because of my inability to, I don't know. I guess the filter thing, like I don't have a filter, and I don't know how to BS a lot of stuff. And if I don't like something, I don't know how to not say I don't like it, which is probably horrible for me getting sponsors. I have like one, I have Hammock, and then everyone else, like, they're like, yeah, I don't want to work with that guy because if our product sucks. Like I did something with Pink Miracle, and like I did the video, and I was like, hey, look, honest review, it's not that good. And that was the last of them. So, but you know, if it saves somebody $20 from buying it and they can just use Dawn and water, why not just tell somebody like, hey, don't waste your $20, get Dawn and water. Like I want to try the grandma sneaker cleaner because I see a lot of people use it. I'm just lazy to where I don't want to order it and wait on it when I have like 100 bottles of Dawn ready to go.
Yeah.
But
it seems to be working pretty good, I think.
Yeah, I see a lot of shoe sellers, resellers use it. Let me see. Yeah, apparently, Mike, you can use the app is called GoPro Quick, and apparently it Bluetooth syncs and all that good stuff. Don't quote me. That's just what he gave me on his 2-minute tutorial yesterday. If you guys don't know Mike, he is the current TikTok celebrity of reselling. Yeah, see, that's the other thing. Like, I don't want people to be like, "Are you filming?" Because when you're doing this, they already know, like, "Oh, he's filming." But, and I don't do yard sales, so it's not like I could get on that train. I was thinking about just having Stacy wear it, since she doesn't, want to be in the videos. She could just wear it and follow me.
It's a good idea.
But I have to edit so much of the things that I'm saying out loud so I can still make monetization. Because I just have I'm like, oh, this is trash, and I'll just throw it. Oh, this sucks. Or so I have to edit all that down. Harry Tornado made a great thing on Instagram talking about YouTube, and he's just like, when you're done and you think you're done, watch it, take out 2 minutes, watch it again, take out 2 minutes, and keep doing that until if you took out 2 more minutes, it wouldn't make sense. And that's how long your video should be. So I do a lot of editing and taking out a lot of parts. Then I'm just like, they don't need to see this. This is pointless. Oh, they don't need to see this. So now my videos are shorter, but hopefully they're just to the point, but then still watchable.
Mm-hmm.
Biggest flip since you started?
I think it's we just had it actually. If we look at the cost of the product and then what it sold for, so we actually started reselling because we started going to the Amazon return bins, and the second time we went, first time was just for personal with some of our friends, Christy and Charlie, who are on. Shout out to them guys. But the first time Elle found a Gucci watch at the bottom of a bin, and so that flipped it was $10 and it flipped for $300, I think.
Nice.
And then the next time that's really what got us started. We said, okay, we can make some money doing this. The next time we went back, we took our youngest daughter with us, and I was out in the bins, going haywire, and they were up at the jewelry counter just chit chatting with the manager, and he starts throwing out the big boxes, the good stuff.
Yeah.
And so they snatched up a couple $high watches, and we just sold I'm going to not pronounce it right, but the Victorinox.
Yeah. I know. Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't pronounce that one either, but I know the brand.
You actually sent us some of those, some of that brand in the mystery box that we got.
Yeah. It's it almost looks like the Swiss Army knife logo. It's the little red cross. Yeah.
Yeah. So we did.
Did you freeze? Did I freeze?
We just sold that though. That's probably our biggest. Oops. We freeze up?
Yeah, you did for a second, but it caught at the end. That's awesome. Yeah, see, my problem, I'm not into any kind of designer stuff, but when you said Gucci watch, I'm like, man, I probably would have kept that if it was nice.
Yeah, it wasn't our style. There was another watch that we got from that guy that is probably going to end up being kept if it doesn't sell.
Again, that's why I had to stop doing hat reselling, because every time I'd buy a bundle off of somebody, I'd be like, okay, well, I really bought this because there's 3 in there that I want to keep, but there'd also be the 3 that would bring in the most money. And so it just got to a point where, okay, man, you only have one head, just no more than I think right now I currently have no more than a dozen hats that I rotate through, but I have to keep myself strict on it. Somebody asked, what's your typical return rate? I don't know if they're asking me or you. What would you say yours is?
Just off the top of my head, I guess if they're asking what we sell versus what we profit, it's probably about 50% of our sales. So I think we're setting around that mark. I think our average sale per item is $38 right now. But our average cost obviously is really low because of where we're sourcing. I don't spend really more than $10 on anything, I think, ever, for the most part.
Nice.
So.
Yeah, I only pay up if I know if it's worth it, or if we're doing a buy cost average, then it doesn't really matter. Mm-hmm. But if you're talking about returns, somebody buying something and returning it, we average probably maybe 5 a month, and that's because we take photos of literally if there's a scuff, if there's a mark, we put it in a photo and we add it to the description. If it's clothing, we take measurements, like even ones that most people don't do, like rise, the length of the zipper, if it's because it's jeans, which is what we mostly sell. We'll do the thigh measurement. We'll do the calf measurement because apparently those are important to the 2 people out of the last 5 years that have purchased jeans from us. So we started adding all that to eliminate people asking questions. So our actual like return, people buying something, send it back, is very low. If you're talking about profit return, we stay right around 62% as far as like our profit margin or return rate on what we buy. Oh yeah, we already did that one. And we're down to the last 5 minutes. I'm supposed to have a bell. Ding, ding, ding. You got to get out of here at 1. I have to get out of here at 1. Somehow Stacy is going to muster it up to get she has a tattoo appointment. So my appointment is not until the 22nd. Anytime I get tattooed, since I have very limited space, it's always small. And Stacy always sneaks away in to get an additional appointment in as well, since she has so much canvas left.
That's awesome.
So that's one of my regrets, getting way too many tattoos way too young, and now I'm covering over. I'm doing tattoos on top of tattoos now just because I don't make enough to do my face, and I don't want to do my face.
Oh, that's awesome.
Any ending, closing, anything? I never know how to start a show or end a show. I just enjoy talking about reselling. You want to project?
Just thank you again for selecting us to be on the show. It's super awesome. And thanks for all the tips that you guys put out in your videos too. Like I said, I think that's the coolest thing about just being part of that reselling community, is just how open everybody is with sharing. I mean, there's some people that sell things, but for the most part, you guys just put it out there, and it's really been awesome to learn from what you do. So thank you.
Oh, I appreciate it. I enjoy communicating with all different types of resellers, from hey, this is my first day, to I only do this on the weekends, part-time, I want to go full-time. What seems the general consensus of the reselling community to me is it's like 98% of people that just want to interact and engage with other resellers and share tips and bolos and things like that. And then you've got 98% of the resellers that, even if they're part-time, in the mind, as soon as you get into this community, you're like, oh, I want to do this full-time.
Oh yeah.
Whatever I do from 9 to 5, I no longer want to do, because this underbelly, this underworld that is now becoming mainstream has opened my eyes. And I think there's something to be said about the fact that anybody that gets into reselling gets hooked. Like you're going to have your bad days in reselling, but you've never heard of somebody that's a reseller that's like, I'm going to quit reselling and go get a 9 to 5 because I'm done with this. Like, if there is somebody out there, you tag me on who they are, because I want to interview them for sure. They're doing something wrong.
Yeah.
I don't think there's any other way to make money that I can think of, even illegally, that's as fun as reselling.
Yeah. I've always had part-time jobs, and that's what this is really for us, is a kind of like a part-time job, but it's not a job. It's not work. It's just having fun. It's awesome.
And that's what helps fit into my life and Stacy's, and hopefully, I mean, I know, like I've said before, like the kids, they're not really like, hey, we don't want you to come to school and talk about digging in the trash, but for career day. But I think hopefully as they get older and look back, they'll be like, oh man, you guys were always home. You guys were always having fun. We were always doing something. There was always shoes everywhere, but we were always having fun. Like when school started, oh, there we go. Finally, I sold something. I like to sell something.
Woo! Yes, congratulations.
When school starts, like the kids come in here and they're like, hey, could I wear those on the first day of school? And I'm like, yeah, you can. Let me send you the link for the eBay store. But yeah, they enjoy looking at sneakers, and hopefully, maybe a few of them. We got a 1 in 8 chance, or one of them picks up the trade and doesn't have to go into the working world. But that's the show, guys. Episode 14 in the books. I didn't give any shout outs to the people that watched this on the replay. So if you watched it all the way to the end, thank you, replay watchers. Again, thank you to Michelle, and in the chat was Elle, Aspiring Flippers on Instagram, also on YouTube. If you guys get back into doing videos, thank you so much for coming on the show. And that's all I got.
Awesome. Well, good luck. And yeah, just thanks again. Appreciate it.
No problem. Thanks to everybody in the chat too. I always forget you guys. Shout out Stacy for holding that down. See you.